Oh, fuck.
How many times have I made you do that this afternoon already?
Hey, we're good now. We're good. I'm in my happy place.
Now you're in your happy place.
Oh, shit. It's happening.
Oh, goddamn. Well, welcome to the Whiskey and Wine Podcast, everybody. I'm Alex.
And I'm Big Mike.
Welcome to episode 17, lovingly entitled Bondage.
Yes. Here we go. Apple Music. Let's see if you're going to censor this one.
Yeah, they are. They definitely don't like some of these names that we're coming up with, but Bondage, I think that one's right on the edge.
Absolutely, man. That gives you, I mean, you could go many different ways. So
right.
I feel if we were to do a gentleman's wager on this, I feel like this one should sneak past any of the censorship.
I think we're going to be all right with this one.
They did not like our gangbang, but I feel like this, the Bondage,
I think it's safe.
I think it's safe.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I mean,
but big episode.
Yeah, no, well, I mean,
I'm getting excited. Look, I'm trying to jump the gun.
Well, and I've had to tie you down already. Like,
look at that.
Oh,
See,
so
fucking
good.
Bondage.
Yeah, no, big episode today. We've got our first in-studio guest.
That's dude in studio. Like, actually here right now watching this shit show.
Seeing the professionalism that is the Whiskey and Wine Podcast.
Yeah. It took us a few minutes to get everything up and going.
I think it's been about 40.
Well, I wasn't gonna air the dirty laundry out there.
Fuck
but.
yeah. Well, you want to introduce our guest then?
Well, yeah. So our guest is coming in from a little local spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Friend of ours.
Yep.
Mug Club member at Tapforia.
Yep.
This gentleman has 18 years in the liquor biz. So he actually really knows his shit.
Well, let's not go crazy.
As opposed to these two jackasses.
Yeah. So, no, I want to welcome our friend Brian to the show tonight.
Hey.
We don't have a clap button, so you get live clapping.
Oh, there you go.
So how does it feel, buddy? You're the first in-studio guest.
I'm blown away from every capacity. This is it's awesome. Thank you for having me. It's a hell of a setup.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a pretty room, but these not a lot of like skill sets over here when it comes to this stuff. Like this episode could come out and it could sound like absolute garbage, and that's only because I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, the beauty of it is you can blame it on me because, this guy came in and messed all the settings up, so that's his fault.
But do you know what? He sounds the best right now.
Yeah, he does.
His fucking voice is just silky smooth in the headphones.
Yeah.
So
I don't think that has anything to do with the microphone.
Dude.
I mean, that's just,
we might get voted off the show after this one drop, Mark said. Social media and our website's going to blow up. Hey, why don't you go ahead and just bring Brian back if you guys want. The two of you can take a long vacation.
Yeah. Like, just have Court and Brian running the show from now on. Like, congratulations, you've been voted off Temptation Island.
Oh, shit. So, no, this episode, we don't really have, like, a set in concrete plan.
No.
But we are going to do things a little different.
Yep.
So, for the regular listeners out there, we kind of seem to follow a rough format, but we're actually going to drop some... Well, we're not going to drop any knowledge on you.
No.
Brian is going to drop some knowledge on you. And then we're going to do a little drinking, which is pretty similar. Maybe tell some funny stories at the end.
Yep.
And Brian said there's a special surprise that we don't even know, so we're gonna have to. You're gonna have to just stick with us for this whole episode.
I mean, I think I'm actually gonna stay for this whole episode just to figure out what Brian actually brought us. That's a special surprise. So
we're all gonna learn this together.
Yeah. So welcome, Brian. Thank you so much for coming and teaching us a little bit about something that we knew literally probably 3 sentences worth of information on before.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I wanted to, talk about something that you may see in the liquor stores when you're out there shopping for your weekly fix, but not a lot of people know like really what it means. And there's a really fascinating history about it. It's called bottled and bond, right?
Oh yeah, bondage. Yeah, that's where we came from. This
play on words.
Oh,
see,
God.
look at that. We're
so clever.
There's the hint. Yeah. So there's only about 15 nationally available brands that are bottled in bond.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be interesting to dive into, what is bottled in bond?
Yeah.
Why does it say it on that label? So,
and it's not just a marketing ploy.
No,
like,
it's
not just like, oh, this one is, aged in virgin thighs or something like that. It's,
where do we find those bottles?
Yeah, that's the back room. So, we'll go to school here a little bit.
Yeah,
just really quick.
hell yeah.
Dude,
and
all right.
Drop that knowledge on us.
So basically, imagine you're in 1882. Okay.
No, I don't think Mike and I are surviving that, but okay.
Well,
yeah, we got it.
But you're about the same, and you want some whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at that time in the country's history, there was no regulating what you were drinking. Like, you basically had to take the person who sold it to you's word for it.
Yeah.
And whiskey was huge. Like, it's
an easy thing to make at that time.
Right. And it was valuable, and it was, goods and services traded constantly. And the problem was, you can almost make parallels to today's illicit market, where someone might get an object and then cut it with other things to make more of it.
Okay, got it.
Well, at that time, a barrel of whiskey would be brought to the tavern by someone who wanted to make some money, and obviously they would cut it to sell more of it.
Right.
And they would mix it with prune juice. They would mix it with tobacco spit. They would turpentine was to be found. Like, it was not.
You could die.
Oh, and did go blind, like all kinds of stuff.
Holy shit.
It wasn't a good time. And now I'm glossing over a lot. This is a summaries, Cliff's Notes.
Yeah.
But Congress actually did a study at that time, I guess back when they cared about what we were drinking, and found that 50% of all bourbons in 1875 to 1885 were contaminated with, again, turpentine, tobacco, prune juice. So you weren't getting bourbon.
No, not even close.
So under the administration of Grover Cleveland, like 1897 is a big year. March 3rd specifically, the Bottled in Bond Act was passed.
Holy hell! Oh, so we're coming up on that anniversary here.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, let's see, dude.
Hey, I think we need to celebrate.
We will. We're gonna have to do a little
bondage celebration. So they passed this act.
Yep. So what this means is there was a strict stipulation, right? It was, again, fun fact, if you ever find yourself on Jeopardy, it was the first Consumer Protection Act passed in the United States.
Oh, no shit.
So, like, before food, before drugs, before everything else.
Yep, absolutely, Alex. We needed to make sure our whiskey was good.
Holy shit.
So,
priorities,
we had our
baby.
shit together in the early days.
You can what became later the Food and Drug Administration, their FDA Act passed in 1906. So we had a full 9 years where we had to make sure our booze was good.
Well, hey, get that damn tobacco spit out my whiskey,
and then I'll worry about my suspected infected potatoes and tomatoes.
Yeah,
and
we'll worry about
later.
that later.
Yeah.
But get the whiskey under control, people.
So it's wild. So basically what they did, again, this is a summary, but they had these stipulations in order to get your bourbon bonded.
Yeah.
The government created tax incentives for distilleries to bond their bourbon, so they could sell with a stamp that says, "Hey, this is vouched for. This is good. Sell this, drink this. You will not go blind, and you'll have a good time." So, again, it's wild that we're in 2024 and they still have bottles that you can go to your local liquor store right now and have the same stipulations.
Yeah. There's all sorts of other rules and regulations involved in whiskey and bourbon and everything else, but this is like the original safeguard for Americans to be able to have something that is a reliable source.
Yeah. And another fun fact is you can still, they make bonded rums, they make bonded brandies are out there. Like, so you can, it doesn't have to be bourbon, but it is under the same guidelines. And
that's fantastic.
Pardon me. Just want to share what does that mean though, right? So we've established it's to be clear, like it's good, but in order to get the seal to say bonded or bottled in bond on the bottle, the first one is 100% of the liquid must be distilled in the same distilling season. Okay? So we have 2 distilling seasons. You have January through June, and then July through December. all that really does is kind of put a cap on how much can be produced at once. There's only a finite amount of bourbon that any one distillery can make at one time. But if you put no limit on it, we made 3 billion barrels this year. So it keeps it finite, right?
Yeah.
All right.
So that's the first thing. The second qualification is it must be just the distilling must have been done by a single distillery, right? So you can't take part of it to your neighbor's farm and have it over here and
transporting the liquid from frickin' spot to spot.
Exactly, has to be done at one spot.
Okay,
all right.
The next tick is it has to be aged for 4 years in a bonded warehouse, right? So I think technically to be a or a whiskey 2 years, but to be bonded has to be 4 years. So that's another so right away. Okay, this is at least 4 years minimum. It can go up.
Yeah,
but it's no less than 4.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
The next one is it's bottled at 100 proof.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Now
So
we're
there's
talking.
so not only are you getting quality stuff, you're getting some steep with a fastball.
Yeah.
Like, it's 100 or nothing. So it's not going to be above, not going to be below, going to be 100 proof. The next one is that the label has to clearly state the distillery who made it.
Okay.
So you know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Like they're identified and responsible.
See, staying transparent. Got to know.
You can bottle it at a separate location, but you have to declare that as well, right? So it has to be on the label. So all this information is there.
So like distilled at, location X, bottled at location Y.
Yep. So you can follow the trail. You know where the bourbon's been. Exactly.
Yeah, not jackass Mike over here cutting it with, prune juice.
Exactly.
It's secret location Q.
Yep. And what leads into the final and most important note is nothing else can be added to it except for water. So all your prune juice, rattlesnake head, tobacco spit guys, out of business. Done. Like water's the only thing that can be added. So.
All right. See? Some bitch. I learned. What are we? 10 minutes into this episode, and I'm already learning.
Yeah, I feel like my brain's gonna explode though. Before it was just ooh, colorful juice make me happy. now I actually know something. I feel like knowledge is dangerous here.
Well, it does kind of make you wonder, what. Not that I'd ever do it, but I'm curious to talk to a guy that had some rattlesnake prune juice whiskey. Did you get any superpowers?
Well, I can tell you right now, they probably spent a few extra minutes on the pot. Fucking prune juice and a bourbon. My wife would hate that. Hate that.
Oh my God, you would have destroyed the bed sheets. That's what would have happened.
She's already going to tell you I do that already. Well, so then hold on. I just want to throw in too. So as Brian's dropping the knowledge on us, we are sipping some things.
Yep.
The items that we're sipping right now, we're not going to put through the judging scale. Brian said he had a special something for us towards the end of the episode. So I guess that is the bottle that's going through our scoring systems. But while we're learning, I just want to throw out bottle 1 because there are 3 of them.
Yep.
We are drinking some Evan Williams right now.
Bottled and Bond.
Bottle and Bond. I don't know about you guys because I'm watching basketball and drinking. This is freaking smooth.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't have a... I like, when we do this, I usually will throw a rock in the glass, right? Dude, I'm sipping this straight as is. I'm liking the flavors. I'm liking the taste. So not only we get a little extra, everyone's getting the knowledge, but we're actually drinking the bottle and bond. So all right, so I don't want to cut you off. I just want to let people know.
Yeah.
So far, bottle 1 right now, Evan Williams.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. And this is all stuff like all these bottled and bond things. It's generally, you can find this. This isn't just some rare BS, we only make this just to sell to, rare allocations or something. This is just a true whiskey that you can find anywhere.
Right. Like I said a little earlier, there's about 14. It fluctuates. There's about 14 to 17 brands nationally that you can find that go through the process of being federally bonded. Some places at local levels do it, obviously, but we can't find something out here that's not in Kentucky on a small scale.
Right.
But,
yeah. Right.
The ones we brought in, actually brought in a list as well of just rattling off some ones you can find if you do in fact want to celebrate March 3rd and go get yourself a bottle of a bottled and bond bourbon to try.
Hell yeah.
Might as well, you guys. 4 days away, right?
Yeah.
We literally got 4 days. Go grab a bottle, celebrate that anniversary.
And through a lot of the educations and trainings I've gone through work, I'm very lucky. Like I've gotten, I mean, not to brag, but I've got to go visit distilleries that are really awesome. That like you learn a lot, and they talk about it, and they do take pride. The ones that do bonded stuff is because it's, you know, obviously with anything there's price range, but generally the bang for your buck at Bottled and Bond, you know what you're getting, and it's all quality source materials, and it's
and you're not looking at some, you know, $95 bottle every time.
Exactly, and it's a cool little segment. Something I'd recommend having on your back bar.
Heck yeah. So this Evan Williams that we're drinking real quick. So Brian's local, right? We're all in the in the Tiger, Tualatin, Sherwood, Beaverton area. These 3 bottles that he brought in, purchased at stores locally. What's that Evan Williams running per bottle?
Under $25.
Dude, $25.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I thought that's what I heard you say earlier, and as I'm drinking it, dude, $25 for this? Are you kidding me?
Well, you know, normally I'm trying to find, you know, something to make the old fashions with or something like that. Something that's not an overly expensive bottle, because once you're mixing it in for an old fashioned, nobody's going to know what the fuck is in there, honestly.
And I've seen people consume things at this house.
Yeah.
You don't want a
like
expensive ass bottle.
There's a reason there's a lock on the door, because at some point some of the people who consume some of this booze don't really understand what the value of what they're just chugging is, or they're doing a whiskey coke with, you know, the Kentucky Owl, or you know, something that I couldn't find locally and had to order in. Like, no, I love you ever so much, but we're not going to be using that for a mixer.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. So, but like this Evan Williams,
I was just gonna say, you might have found the new fucking unicorn just for that right there.
Seriously, I think I'm looking at, you know, at under $25, smooth, at least 100 proof. So it's got enough heat.
Yeah, 100 proof.
Yeah. So that's perfect.
I wouldn't be surprised if we full circle this at some point and do a single review on that bottle.
Yeah,
just from what I'm tasting so far.
Well,
I don't want to go down.
If you manage to bring that bottle here with more than just a sip or two, like that goddamn Angel's Envy.
All right, hey, so Brian, moving along. Sorry, technical difficulties.
Not that I'm bitter about that or anything, Mike.
I can't be trusted with bottles. All right. So far so good. See, we're getting a little knowledge. We're doing a little tastings. What other stuff you got?
Well, just the interesting part of the story of Bottled and Bond is how it once it got signed into law, right, in 1997, the distilleries are kind of looking around like, so what does that mean for us?
Yeah.
Well, what that means is you have talk about a dream job, a government employee basically living on site at your distillery.
Oh man.
And he's the one with the keys.
Just keeping an eye on this.
So he opens it up in the morning and he shuts it down at night. And that's it. Like, that's how you...
And he lives there, huh?
Yeah, he's on site.
This sounds like a good job for retirement.
Oh, gosh.
Sign me up.
So, I don't know if we want to dive into that story now.
Yeah. The larceny. Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's this brand available called Larceny, which is a whiskey made by Heaven Hill Distilleries. And larceny is, you know, a term for stealing or being a thief. Or, you know.
Yeah.
So you may wonder, where did this come from? Well, there's a legend of a man named John E. Fitzgerald. And John was a bonded treasury agent. And he did what, I don't necessarily want to slander either of the fine men in this room, but... if we had access to a distillery, a rick house, after hours, we may have done the same thing. Well, Mr. Fitzgerald became famous. Well, he had a very good palate, and he liked his good whiskey, and he would, after hours, take the key that he had and find the barrels he liked, and he would what is it, to quote Tom from Parks and Rec, he would treat yourself, and he would get jugs for him and his friends. And
fucking the OG growlers. See?
Yeah.
OG growlers.
There we go.
Yeah. So he would let himself in, and he'd taste, and the ones he'd like. So the way you sample a barrel even today is called a whiskey thief, right? It's about a 3-foot tube that you dip into the bunghole.
The bunghole,
it's
yeah.
fun to say, it's appropriate.
Bunghole.
And you take it out and you sample it. Well, Fitzgerald would leave sometimes after doing some research. The whiskey thief, he'd leave under the barrel. So the workers would be like, oh no, like John found another good one.
Oh, Jesus.
And they'd be lighter and they'd taste it, and those would be premium barrels.
Yeah.
And so they kind of like figured out that this guy kind of has a fantastic palate.
Yeah.
Like, it's like he's not supposed to be doing it, but he did it for a while before he got caught. But again, long story short, they in retrospect they named the brand Larceny after him, and you can see the bottle or look it up online. Like it's kind of shaped like a keyhole.
Dude, it's
and
badass.
like,
It's a badass bottle.
kind of to honor his story. And
That's fantastic. Like, yeah, he was stealing this stuff, but he ended up making something that was just that much better. Like, if you're a wild animal or a Mike or whatever it is,
What the fuck?
like
I'm intrigued where you're going with this, Dick.
You're gonna take the stuff that you like. Like, if you come over to my house, you're not gonna go steal the shitty bottles of wine down there. You're gonna walk out of here with the nice bottles of wine.
yeah,
Of course, I'm gonna have your wife help me pick them too.
Yeah, no, I'm aware.
yeah. And he was very efficient with his taste. And there's I don't know if you guys do any reading on the side of your listeners, but Always Find Bourbon is a book by Pappy Van Winkle's granddaughter, Sally Van Winkle Campbell. Like, it's a good one to check out and give that a peruse with some of the in-depth history.
That's fun. Holy crap.
Fucking Fitzgerald, man.
Yeah.
I want that job. Do they still have it to this day?
That's some homework for me to get back to you. Like,
I want
they
to
still
know
do
now.
bonded.
Yeah.
The rules are still the same. Like, can we apply for that? Like,
I'm guessing
Oh my God.
nowadays, right? There's probably, I don't know. There might be an on-site. I'm going to look it up too because I'm going to put in my resume.
Mike used to run tap for you, and then he disappeared to go be a thief.
Buddy, could you imagine me having keys to a distillery?
Oh my God.
I'm surprised they let me have keys to Tapforia.
So, little more facts to throw in, that it was the Stiesel Weller warehouse where he was doing his thieving.
Yeah.
And that one wound up going into the hands of the Pappy Van Winkle family.
Yeah.
Acquired. And again, to summarize, they wound up making a brand. Here's my surprise. I guess I'm not very good at unveiling the curtain, but I got a bottle of Old Fitzgerald.
No
8-year
way.
bottled in bond to share with you guys. To let you, I've never tasted it myself.
Oh, shit, this
we'll
is
crack
gonna-
it here. So
Damn.
I'm a little nervous about I'm looking here at the scoring system. Is
Yeah.
hopefully it'll perform well. If it gets a ruby, I just may walk home. But,
Like, the amazing thing you brought gets the worst score in the history of whiskey and wine.
but that's kind of the special treat. And as we've been sipping through the three, I guess we can kind of unveil the other ones.
Yes, yeah. So I've already said the first one. One of you guys take the next one. What's number 2 that we've been drinking?
So number 2 is the Old Granddad bottled in bond, and it's a little bit, I don't know. It's, in all honesty, it's very close to the Evan Williams for my palate, but still really, I don't know. It's yeah.
This one might actually.
Nah, I think I still like the Evan Williams a little bit better. But this one's, I mean, they're really close in the way it hits the palate. I don't know. For me, I think it's still the Evan Williams for me. And then what's that third one there, Brian?
The third one is the Old Forester bottled in bond.
Fan of Old Forester. I've never had the bottle and bond, so
Yeah.
this is going to be fun. This is the third one that we got on our lineup here.
Yeah.
All right.
And not to out myself too much, but I kind of did on Mike. I heard the Bringing the Angels Envy bottle a little light. Like, that bottle wasn't as full as the other ones I brought, so my apologies.
Oh, it's a trend coming over here. See, it's not just me, Alex.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So
See, I have your back.
Yeah. No, look, that bottle has significantly more still in it than that goddamn Angel's Envy did.
no.
Significantly more.
We should have took pictures. I'm calling bullshit.
No, you basically brought over what you could scrape off the side of the bottle.
You lie on me. I don't know.
Well, again, you're just lucky it wasn't 127 years ago. He might have just filled it up with something else and called it good, right?
Now I'm starting to question, like, all right, Mike, from now on, if you don't bring over a sealed bottle, I'm not trusting you, because it's just going to be prune juice in there now.
I'm going to go find all my tobacco chewing friends. Hey, do you guys mind doing a little lip spit in that bottle for me?
God. Like, I'm gonna prove to the world that Alex does not actually have a sophisticated palate. You think that tobacco spit one's really good, huh? Congrats.
I like that Old Forester too. So like I said, I've drank a lot of their lineup. I think I have a few bottles at home right now.
Yeah.
I feel like it has a little more spice on the back end compared to the Evan Williams and the Old Granddad.
Yeah.
What's since you brought these bottles, Brian, and I'm not even going to try to lie my way through this, what roughly price per bottle? So we know the Evan Williams, you said, it's under 25.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get you like official info here. So the Old Granddad is $22.95, which is a steal.
Okay. Good God, that is a steal
for a good whiskey.
And the Evan Williams $21.95.
Jesus. Seriously,
this is the cheapest lineup of good whiskey we've had in
Alex,
a long time.
As a sales guy, I got to step in and say it's affordable.
Yeah.
See,
inexpensive, but your price per incredible taste is up there.
Well, to your point earlier, you can make a hell of a cocktail with that.
Yeah.
And your secret is it's under $22.
Right.
Like,
I'm not really worried about over pouring somebody with something like that. Whereas like somebody finds something that I've ordered online and I'm like,
right.
Yeah, I'm trying to be a good host. You're still going to enjoy it. And I'm not going to have a small heart attack when you finish the bottle off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think we found the new old fashioned Manhattan.
Yep. No, I think this is the way to go.
What was the Old Forester? Do we stay or
the Old Forester is $45.95, so it's a little higher up. But I guess the magic of Bottled and Bond again, since the strenuous qualifications, I don't really taste that much of a difference. Like they're all great. So
right. I mean, as much as people like to claim that they have these very sophisticated palates and that I know what the difference between this and this and at the end of the day, if it's a palatable bourbon, whiskey, scotch, whatever you're drinking, and you can find it, and it's at a reasonable price. I mean, still at $45 is still, that's a reasonable price for a bottle of whiskey, and you can have that multiple times. You can buy several bottles of that and not feel like you're just getting bent over to the proverbial barrel.
Nice. I was hoping you'd finish with that. That was great.
Holy shit, I'm a professional.
Last thing I want's old Fitzgerald pounding me from the backside.
He's going to use his key on you.
Dude.
Unlocking your chastity belt there, Mike.
Dude, you ask my wife. This keyhole's small and tight. I don't know if that big-ass key...
Oh, I think we've just learned a whole lot more than anybody wanted. Like, yes, I appreciate that Brian taught us a lot, but now I've got to try and scrub that fucking image out of my head, Mike.
Sorry.
She's tying you up and using something on your keyhole.
No. I'm just saying that there's no key going in the hole, if you know what I mean.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. You go ahead and claim that.
All right. Bunch of sick bastards.
So yeah, when you're in your liquor stores this week, look for a Bottled and Bond. They usually have a identifying characteristic, a tax stamp on the top of it. It's usually facsimile. Though very few actually have the stamp. But like the Evan Williams, for example, has a green sticker. Like the words bonded, Bottled and Bond, anything like that. Like pick up a bottle, show off to your friends.
I don't want to point anyone in a certain direction, but if Big Mike was going to the store and was looking for something, I would probably go grab the Evan Williams.
Yep. No, I think
saying.
I'm right there with you. Like the Old Forester I like, but at
double the bottle,
Yeah.
or double the price.
no, that Evan Williams that's scoring high for me.
Like I said, we might bring just that single bottle. Actually, it might be fun to do a whole, series over 3 or 4 weeks of all bottle and bond stuff. So you might see.
Jesus,
you
do
might
you think
hear,
our livers can handle that?
buddy.
Like, for the next 6 weeks, we're gonna get through all the bottled and bonds.
Well, I have another special. I already put us on a liver transplant list,
perfect.
so we should be good on that.
Because nobody's gonna want our shriveled little things.
There's another one that I couldn't track down in time.
Ooh.
It's a little harder to find. It's still special order in Oregon.
Yeah.
But again, that's why we're really lucky in Oregon, where if you have a relationship with your store, your local stores, and you're a regular, and you can get them to special order items that are available. It just takes a little more time.
Yeah.
And if you go in and ask, it's I don't know if you've seen it around, but it's called Mellow Corn.
I've never seen it.
It's about $23 in Oregon. It's special order. It's in a handful of stores. I think it's in about 30 stores, but it's the world's only bottled and bond corn whiskey.
No
Really?
shit.
And it gets what is it? Honey Smacks? Like that's what the taste of, like kind of corn cereal. Like, it's
Really?
sweet. I was trying to score one. Maybe that'll be my tease to like someday invite me back. But
Wow. I mean,
keep your eyes out for Mellow Corn.
Okay.
That one is phenomenal. And again, it's in about 30 stores in the state. You can always check Liquor Search, OregonLiquorSearch.com to kind of see who has what. But that's another outstanding one that is available. And if you haven't tried, you should treat yourself.
all right.
Boom. See, look at that.
Holy shit.
Fucking tidbits. Who knew you're going to get so much valuable information?
Well, nobody who has listened to the episodes prior to this would ever have guessed that you would get legitimate knowledge
Well,
and advice
from us, no. That's
that
why
is
we have
worth-
friends that are much smarter than we are.
Right, like this is actually worth more than the hour of their time that they normally just give up to a couple of fucktards talking in a room.
Do you realize our listeners, I can see it right, they're actually writing down and doing notes like, oh shit, Alec and Mike, whatever. Brian said.
Please
should
bring
go.
please bring Brian's dulcet tones back more often to teach us more about what we keep spending money on.
Yeah, see? You're going to be trending high on our social media and our website, I feel, after this episode, Brian.
Well, he is I'd say he's the second prettiest guest we've had on here.
I'll take top 2 all day.
Yeah,
Top 2, buddy.
I mean, only because Court had all the makeup and everything for the Mother Ginger role. That made him really pretty.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
next time I need you to whore yourself up a little bit, Brian, and really put on the makeup, okay?
Well, you got to establish a rapport. To, again, be invited
He's setting the
back for
baseline.
next- yeah, setting the
He's
baseline.
setting the baseline.
I like
And from that point on, you gotta go over that record each time.
what is it? Raise the intensity level.
Yep,
There you go.
absolutely.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay. Turn it up.
Show up in a
notch.
big bell dress with the next bit of knowledge just hidden underneath it.
I love it. I do. I'm sorry to jump off subject. I got to give a massive shout out to your Pac-2 flag.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Go Cougs!
Yeah.
Like, I
Hey,
love that.
It's going to be a fantastic year in the conference, right?
Yeah, at least we're playing friends, right?
Yeah. At least we're not the douchebags that jump ship.
There you go. So sorry, that just caught my eye.
see, it's one of the few things that's actually displayed.
Well, you
On
keep
the walls.
promising to
I
bring
know.
over Brown's gear. I've got my commander
I
stuff
know.
on the
I keep
floor.
I keep forgetting. Brown's gear will show up
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
some other shit.
Yeah, just like they're going to show up in the playoffs.
Oh my god,
That was
On
fantastic.
man, I might fight you right now.
You couldn't get out of that chair if you tried.
You give me a second, I'll try. Whiskey and Wine Podcast brought to you by Tapforia Tap House and Bottle Shop. Tapforia has 28 taps, including beer, wine, cider, seltzer, and kombucha. Stop in for a pint, mug, or growler fill of your favorite adult beverage. Located on Highway 99W in Tigard, visit tapforia.com and follow them on their social media to see what they have each day on tap. Tapforia, craft beers and wine. Oh man, that was a good transition right there, everyone. It was time for a little break.
Pee break.
That's right. Lighten up the bladder.
Well, and you know, we gotta prep ourselves because now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of the episode where we actually get to taste something.
And not just something, but something out of Brian's personal stash.
Holy shit.
And the funniest part, no shit, I'm not just trying to say, none of us have had this. It was just poured in the rock glass.
Yep. The seal was just broken.
It was just broken. We all had water on the bathroom break.
Yep.
And this is actually going to be a real first taste for all three of us.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to keep talking. We're going to let Brian kind of set this this old Fitzgerald bottle up.
Yep.
I feel bad I feel bad just as the fact that you guys probably won't be able to find this bottle.
Yeah.
You can with some, hard work and being nice and going to liquor stores and actually
I was going to say, if you're
buying
nice
things, right? Buy some items and ask for things, but don't just walk in, ask, and leave, because that's a dick move.
Yeah.
But if you have rapport with your local liquor store, right?
Yep.
You too might be fortunate enough to try this. I can't wait. All right, set it up, Brian. What are we drinking here? I'm so fucking excited.
Yeah, seriously. You're like bouncing in the chair with it reclined. Like, you are absolutely going to break this chair. You're so excited.
I wish I had more to add other than, like, I've never tried it either. I can tell you the mash bill is 75% corn.
Okay.
We got 20% wheat, 5% malted barley. So it should be, my estimated guess is it should be a little sweet initially.
Okay.
Again, it's bonded. I got to watch Alex break the tax stamp on it.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. Like,
I kept the tax stamp because this is the first bottle that I've seen bottled in bond that has like that old style tax stamp around the top of it.
And I can tell you it is 100 proof. So as we learned earlier.
As we learned, I was just gonna say.
God damn, we're smart now.
And I notice, so we all drinking the same, just neat, no rocks, no nothing.
No rocks,
Yep.
No rocks to be found.
All right, should we do a cheers before we dive in?
Yep.
Cheers to you, my friend. Cheers to you, my friend. All right, dude.
Here we go. This is
Listen
a little ASMR.
and envious.
Try not to breathe into it.
God, I wish I had more of a vocabulary.
It's pretty good.
If I'm being honest, like it's hot to come out first a little bit but now there's like some sweet finish to it. It's like sugar, like caramel or toffee or something like that.
See, what I love about this industry is everyone's palate is insanely different.
Yes, it is.
And everyone has a different, like, to me, immediately I tasted corn.
Oh.
And then it felt like a fireworks show in my mouth. And as it went down,
wow.
Like,
that's how I describe. That's Mike's nickname for me, by the way. Like fireworks show in his mouth.
No, it's your mouth. It's my fireworks show.
So,
Brian's like, why did I show up?
How do I?
How do I segue?
I let these guys drink my shit.
But that was just initial. Like, I went sweet, then it went kind of a lot of activity, and then kind of went to. How about you, Mike?
Well, hold on. We're going to go in for the third sip. Let's see. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I get this right off the bat. I get the sweet.
So is that heat? Is that the corn, or like that corn flavor? Because I've never really sure what is going in my mouth.
Oh God!
So,
where do we go?
Where's
from
the edit
there?
button? So generally, I mean, it's the malter grain that is the base of the mash bill, right?
Yeah.
Which is going to be, and corn is heavy.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little sweeter, and the more it has to be at least 51% corn, right?
Yeah.
So at 75% corn, the sweetness is
way up there.
Way up there, and that's what I get. But I mean, there is, I mean, toffee can be in there if you look for it, if you smell it, if you give a little swirl. Oh, another fun. Let's do this. This is a good one that I learned on a distillery trip.
Oh, no way.
When you do a tasting, when you nose the glass,
open your mouth.
Boom.
Yep.
Got it.
You open your mouth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, that was secret time. That blew my mind. I didn't know
yeah.
that.
No,
Secret time.
It's the same with wines or ports or whatever it is you put your nose in it. And you keep your mouth out of it, but you open your mouth when you breathe in.
And you never looked more attractive than when you do that.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely a fucking guppy at that point.
But when you do that with this, corn
heavy.
That's
yeah.
I absolutely get it.
No.
So now my question
is this is like complex. So remember that old the representative that we had a few episodes ago?
Fucking rocket fuel.
Yeah. But the flavors were distinct later on. This one has like flavors right off the bat, and that's kind of fun. Like that's, again, it's something that you and I are never really gonna see. We're not going to play with. It's not going to just be I went down to the Sherwood liquor store on a Thursday and it just sits there, but that it's complex enough that it's a hell of a lot of fun. Yeah.
I'm curious to maybe drop an ice cube in it after you're about halfway through it just to see what opens up. Like what other surprises might be buried in there, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that was one of those experiences at the Multnomah Whiskey Library was something was really, hot and complex, but you dropped a couple of drops of water in it or something like that, and it opens it up.
Opens it up and absolutely gives you
I'm just shocked by that. Like that is not. I would never have put A to B in that kind of a thing. Like I didn't understand that was a thing. Like drinking wine, the more you aerate it and everything else, and it opens up, especially if it's been bottled for a long time, the more it opens up, the more complex flavor you get. But I had no idea with whiskey, bourbon, scotch, everything, you can add a little bit of water to it through a dropper, not even just a cube of ice, but just a dropper of water, and it changes the way it
100%. The proof is affected. Like, again, not to tie it back to the name of the episode, but again, there's a differentiation between something bottled at 100 proof, 90 proof, or even 110, and the flavors that come along with it, and what gets modified and changed just by the chemical composition of adding water. Right. And again, beauty of the bottle and bond. Only water can be added. So that's it. So
it's fantastic. I mean, like that's a hell of a lot of fun.
What blows my mind is these all are 100 proof, correct? What we've drank today.
Yeah. To be bottled and bond must be 100.
So this one, at least for me, drinks a little hotter than the other ones.
Yeah. Like at the back.
It blows my mind.
Back of the throat, it feels warmer.
It feels warmer on the back, going down, right? But, oh, jeez, I know. Why do we have to do a fucking podcast? Next time we're going to do sports cards and fucking pizzas. The things going in our mouths. I quit. I'm just going to drink.
Mike's over here putting all sorts of fun things in his mouth. Welcome to the Bondage episode where Mike has been tied up to a chair and we've just been putting things in his mouth.
I'm looking around the room right now. I was going to fucking make an escape. If I saw any rope, I was running.
You're fine. We won't hurt you. It's all out of love, Mike.
It's all out of love. Assholes. I love this, by the way.
Yeah. So you've got a bondage story, Mike.
Well, I mean, I got one that I can share.
Yeah,
that's safe for podcast.
Because none of the other 2/3 of this podcast this week did not have one to share.
Let's say we'll pull the curtain back. Yes, we had a quick little meeting after our bathroom breaks,
and
right?
Only Mike had a bondage story.
So we decided to stay true to our kind of outline on these. Right, we had to come up with the story.
Yeah,
and the three of us were chatting, and unfortunately. I only have one story to share that's safe for podcasts.
You are the only one that has a story.
Well, you guys have them, just no one wants to share them, is my understanding.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think you're full of shit.
So,
yeah, that's weird.
Well, like I said, it could be this episode could be spun many different ways. Right? You could be caught in a sticky situation. I don't know why I said that, but you know what I mean.
You just keep walking into these, man.
Can we get to scoring this? I'm done. I want to just move on.
No, I want to hear all about how you were tied up, Mike.
Okay, so all right. How do I got to make sure my wording is very careful.
Yeah, be very careful.
So I went to an escape room. All right, escape room with my daughter and some of her dance friends, right? That was a thing that the team always would do. We'd go to a few different escape rooms all over town.
All right.
They would do it because it was just fun, right, on a weekend when they weren't dancing, hanging out, even though they hung out 6 days a week at the studio. Let's do a 7th day. So instead of dancing, we're going to do an escape room. So my daughter came and pitched to me one day, well before she was driving, and she said, can you take me and 2 other friends to an escape room over in Beaverton? We were at this escape room many times before doing other ones.
All right.
I said, sure, what room are we doing? And she goes, we're doing the kidnapped room. And I knew nothing about this room. So I was like, sure, do I have to go collect I was more interested, do I have to go collect all your friends, or, what's the details?
Yeah.
Got the details worked out. Fast forward, we go to the escape room. I'm the only acting adult there, and it's with my daughter and 2 of her friends. And they, we had to sign some stuff, blah, blah, blah. Put your phones here. There's no video. And if you haven't done an escape room, there's some rules you have to follow.
Yeah.
We go into a room, and right off the bat, they handcuff us to the wall. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is happening here?
You're about to get a knife to your ribs and have your wallet taken.
I'm thinking, I'm here with 3 girls, right? My daughter and 2 of her friends. I'm like, I don't know if this is what we should be doing on a Sunday right now.
God is judging the shit out of you now.
I'm getting judged so much, right? And so we go through this escape room, and they give us just enough info, right? So, all right, you're locked up. You have an hour. You have to get to this 3rd phase in the room.
All right.
And, of course, it's pretty obvious, but phase 1 is you have to get out of the handcuffs. They close the door. We look in the fucking corner. The timer's going, and I'm thinking, what? I must have went wrong somewhere in my life to spend a Sunday locked up with my daughter and her friends in an escape room. So fast forward. We get out of the handcuffs, right? I'm thinking, shit, we're done. That only took us like 10 minutes. Fuck, we have 50 minutes. Now we can go get a drink somewhere. I'm going to take them to Red Robin, right? So I can have a big-ass beer.
Yeah.
No, there were still 2 more rooms. So we still had to do all these plugs of, get out of this room into this room. And then we got into this room. And then there was this little-ass cubby that only one was allowed to go in. And one girl volunteered. And then I started second-guessing all my life choices. Like, Jesus, now I'm going to send one of my daughter's friend into some random cubby, and she's going to be by herself.
She's totally coming back, right?
Oh, dude, I'm thinking.
Like, how do you explain to the parents? So we were doing this really legitimate escape room that was definitely not in some random dude's house. And then she crawled into this cubby, and we haven't found her. I don't know where she went.
But I think she's okay. She's okay. So long story short, we fail.
Yeah.
We don't get out. We're
what
close.
What happens when you fail?
The timer goes off. Then the employee who's watching you on cameras, right? Everyone's a little different. So if you haven't done an escape room, it is fun. I've done it with a few Mud Club members at Tapforia.
Yeah.
I'm good at puzzles, but certain puzzles, right? And that's really all they are, right?
Yeah.
They're fucking riddles. You got to do this, combinations. They're pretty fun. But if you don't get out in an hour, they just come in, right? The lights turn on, timer, some alarm goes off. The employee comes in, says, you guys did great. You were almost there. Fucking.
And then they show you the 16 things you didn't solve.
Yeah.
You were nowhere near the end.
So I love my kids to death. I must have done about 10 escape rooms. Cooper even did a birthday party at one, right?
Yeah.
We fucking fail every time. I've only got out of 2, and they were with adults. So I'm just saying out there, if you want to do an escape room, hey, family time, great time.
Yeah.
Leave the kids at home. I've never got out of a fucking room with my kids. So
oh my God. They're
fun, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't get out of the handcuff room, kidnap, bondage, whatever. Fucking put that chapter behind me. But you know what?
You have been locked up in your life, and at least you got out of the cuffs.
That's right. I got out of the cuffs. That's all that matters.
That's the skill set that everybody should have, is how to get out of the cuffs.
Even without a key, you got to get out of the cuffs.
Yep.
You can't trust anyone.
Yep. No, I think that's a skill set that I think amongst like driving and the other things that we teach our kids.
How to get out of handcuffs.
How to get out of handcuffs.
Yeah, there's those videos, if you ever seen that, you can
you just
break out of
twist
the zip tie too, right?
Yep.
If you ever get kidnapped, there's a certain way to get out of zip ties.
Yep. It depends on
I watched
how
some
they
weird
zip tie
shit on
you.
the internet.
Yeah. I'm starting to worry about you a little bit,
Well,
Mike.
buddy, join the club.
How to get out of zip ties? What are you expecting your Friday to look like,
Buddy,
Mike?
you never know when you're in Tijuana on a Wednesday and shit gets weird. All right? Fucking 1 minute you're at a donkey show, next minute you got zip ties on. I'm just saying, shit gets weird in Tijuana.
Okay.
So we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
I feel like a donkey show in Tijuana is a great place to leave our bottled and bond episode.
Well, hold on. We got to judge this motherfucker.
Yeah, we do.
So let's just go right into that. I'm going to tell you. Now, Brian is an avid listener, right? Brian knows.
He's one of our 4 or 5 listeners that like legitimately listens
And
every
out of
week.
5, he could be top 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I'll have to check statistics, but he's up there.
He's
You
going to
can-
start.
you
He's
can
going to
track
start.
that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's got like what do they call that? The VPN or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this guy.
Fucking
Yeah.
analytics. See, we got
Yeah,
more
no.
analytics.
I know when you're listening to us and how you're listening to us. I know everything about you.
But do you
Brian.
know why you're listening?
No, nobody knows why you listen to this. Like, as long as we've got 1 listener a week, I figure we'll just keep doing it.
Yeah, it's a streak.
Yeah. I think we let Brian rate first. I think
Because I already got my I know instantly.
Yeah.
So normal.
Well, you gotta give me a brief synopsis,
All right.
as I'm not privy to the dance world.
Okay.
Like I've
All right.
heard the. Can you maybe? I don't know.
all right. So we start at the bottom, which is Ruby, which I don't, who knows where they come up with these grading systems at these dance competitions, but so there's 5 levels, and we start at Ruby, then you go to high silver, then you go to gold, which is just kind of middle of the road.
Which is wild because gold is pretty rad.
Well, and the funniest part is there's technically more when you actually go to these fucking dance
Jesus,
because they're
it
very
gets bad.
they're into everyone gets a participation trophy. So there's a silver, high silver, gold, high gold. There's a few. So we, with the help of some dance moms out
we
there,
pared this down a little
we've
bit.
pared it down. We wanted a 5-tier system,
Yep.
right? So the Ruby's kind of, I don't want to call it like a school grading system, right?
This
But
is
it's kind of like Ruby is.
you showed up to class.
You showed up and you probably would never buy it, and you
Yeah.
probably wouldn't drink it unless
Well, can
it
I make
was
an honest, like borderline inappropriate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I see Ruby, I think of the Kenny Rogers song. Just not a good song.
No.
And not a good message. And it's like, that's kicking her when she's down.
That's
Like,
right.
that's the last one.
So far,
Yeah.
no one's got a Ruby on
No,
our
good.
I hope
right.
not.
So it's,
And
I don't
no-
want to call it a failing grade, but kind of looking at the you got an A, B, C, D, and an F.
Yeah.
Ruby's kind of just that one that sure you had it. It was pretty.
It technically counts as alcohol.
Yeah. And you would only drink it after that, like, you were coming home from, if you were in Vegas, let's throw the Vegas stories.
Yeah.
That was like,
Paired with leftover Taco Bell.
yep.
Yep.
You just got done with your last blackjack hand at Bally's at 5 a.m. I want to know anything about that. And that's what fucking shows up when
Right.
you've been there all night. So
Right.
the Rubies, you're only drinking it
Yeah.
if it's the last resort.
Yeah.
High
So-
silver, get a little more clout, right? You might have enjoyed it a skosh, but you're still not.
It's
going
the HRD of the world.
Oh shit, that's all right. I like it. So gold's just kind of your middle of the road, right?
Yeah, it's good, but it's you're not gonna drive down to the liquor store for that purpose.
If
Solely,
it's what's there, right?
But
If
if
what your
you're
first
already
choice
there,
is picked, it was
yeah.
already picked out, right? And the
Yeah.
counter's empty, you'd grab a gold,
Yep.
right? High gold has kind of been what.
Yeah, it's a really good drinker. Really like impressive stats and
Angel's Envy, last one. Got
Yep.
the high gold, right?
Yep.
And we try to pair accessibility,
yeah.
some pricing in there, right?
Yeah, that's part of it. Is yeah, we could have a $1,400 bottle of something, and that tastes like a platinum. Am I ever gonna find it? No. So that knocks it down a little bit. So that's where platinum is like accessibility plus taste plus price point.
So we have not given out a platinum yet.
Nope.
Well, I'm glad I asked because that definitely in the accessibility factor.
Yeah.
So we have decided, when we started doing the grading scale, right, we didn't want to just base it on just the liquid itself.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
Like
in this day and age with the bourbons, right?
And when we become famous and people are just shipping us like really rare stuff that hasn't been available since 1987.
Like right now. So a pretty good example of being brought
something
pretty rad stuff that's not accessible.
That's not accessible.
We're not ever drinking this again.
No, I mean, I'm planning on tying Brian up so that he can't take it with him.
What?
And welcome to the bondage episode. We need to cut him loose on Monday so I can see him at Tap 4.
All right. We'll let him loose after I've hidden the bottle.
So that's kind of like the platinum is the unicorn. We haven't found one yet.
Yeah.
We decided, everyone. There's a lot of people out there rating whiskeys and everything.
Yeah.
We decided, just besides the liquid itself, right? How can you find a bottle? Can you, sure, if you had FU money, you could probably find one online or go somewhere and drop some. But for just the average drinker, because I'm the average drinker, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love what I love. I don't chase things anymore. It's funny. I'm on a few group threads with some of our friends and dance dads.
Yep. It's hard for me.
I don't want to drive around
out
from liquor store to liquor store looking for that stuff.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
But to get a high gold for me, so if Mark or somebody texted us saying that this is available at X liquor store right now and they have 6 bottles, am I skipping work for that? Yes. Yes. So to get a high gold, if I can find it and it's worth skipping work to go get it, yes.
Well, it's almost like you need not that the dance scale is convoluted or difficult in any way or manner, but it's almost like you need a separate outline of the super secret surprise stuff. That how did I mean, maybe you just add doubled everything. If it's an allocation that you come across that you happen to be at the library or Westgate or somewhere, and it's you happen to try this one that you don't come across normally. How do you scale it? Because again,
well, look, if Multnomah Whiskey Library is going to start inviting us on a regular basis to just sit
do
there,
live podcasts,
do a podcast there, and they're going to hand us all this. Yeah, I will invent a new scoring system for that.
And
the card catalog.
By the way, we can remote do this. So I'm just, if anyone's listening out there from
if you're running Multnomah Whiskey Library and you want Mike and Alex to come sit down and do a live podcast from the library,
we can do it.
And you're going to set us up with a bunch of stuff that we will absolutely invent a new rating scale that just for
you
that example.
So this one's going to be, I guess this
is hard.
What we're coming down
with
to
the parameters.
This one's going to be tough because I'm not going to lie.
It's probably one of the best whiskeys that I've ever had.
If we were going with no grading scale as far as ease to find, I'd give this a platinum right off the bat.
I have to agree.
Right.
The accessibility of this one, not great.
Bumps it down a notch. I mean, the only reason we're trying it, to be truthful, is it came from Brian's personal selection.
Yeah.
His own inventory. He brought this for us to do the episode on as a present. Which, by the way,
leave in our our studio, right?
No, that's not.
That's not how this works.
That wasn't in the thing I had to sign.
No, your writer absolutely had that in it. I'll give you all the M&Ms you want, but you got to leave the bottle here.
Oh, the ratio, my friend. I don't think.
All right, once he goes to the bathroom, we'll pour. We'll do a
pour
little
it
bottle
all.
swap.
Oh, you'll rectify it. Put tobacco juice in it. And then...
Prune juice, but yeah.
No, it's heaven. I'm not gonna lie, it's heaven.
All right, I think Brian gets first rating here.
This is insane. I'm gonna go. Well, maybe it'll go. I'll make my own rules. I'm gonna go double score. We go platinum in deliciousness and a ruby in accessibility. So boom, it got a necklace for how great it is. But until, unfortunately, it's
available in
easy
any
to get.
way, shape, or form.
Dude, I respect the shit out of that.
Yep,
Look at that.
no.
First guess, just fucking making up rules. This is why.
Do you, I mean, like, have we really legitimately had rules, though, in the past? I mean, this is such a shit show to begin with.
No,
that
but I like, you know what I mean?
I think
Hey, before 1897, there wasn't any rules.
Oh.
So
Okay.
I'm tying
All
it
right.
back. I'm tying it back.
Yeah, no, all right, fine. You have validated your scoring system.
No, yep. It's done.
Yep.
It's in the books now. It's in our bylaws.
Yeah,
we're
your allocated bylaws.
Yeah.
So you give a
Allocated
There you
bylaws.
go. So, where's the note taker?
All right.
All right,
So
what do you got, Mike?
That's Brian's. So going off, and I respect Brian's. I think he is 1,000% correct,
Yep,
right?
Yep.
Flavor, taste, all that. Everything. The juice itself is a platinum, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ruby for that. Continuing on our scale, high gold
Yeah.
for overall. Single. Brian, we're letting Brian do the double because
Yep.
I really appreciate the double.
Yep.
He's in the industry. We should probably
I mean, the GPA
take a look at
alone
this.
is a high gold.
We
It's
should-
better than my score.
We should look at this as something to continue, right? Because
Yep.
Brian brings up valid points.
Well, look, if we're gonna start to have more and more people on, or you know, somebody's gonna send us something that we've never seen before, we need to really understand that accessibility is a real thing for our standard system.
yeah.
But juice alone, like I think Brian's absolutely right. I think this is a platinum on just how this is made and its flavor and its finish and everything else. This is an incredible taste. The problem is I'm never gonna see it again.
No.
Unless we do a beatdown on Brian and we drop him off at wherever he needs to be for the next, few hours, and that's fine. So I'm gonna go on our system alone, Mike. I think I'm gonna go high gold,
All right.
because it's an incredible drinker, and it's a lot of fun, and it's got a lot of flavor. But I can't find it.
I'm just excited that he's letting us consume.
Yeah.
Because we're not talking price. We're not bringing up any other
No.
things on this bottle.
Nope.
Just know that if you ever find it,
Yeah. Just Google this.
just go ahead and yes.
And if you see it sitting on somebody's shelf, or if you are actually one of those genuinely nice people who just has a conversation with your local liquor store rep or the
Being nice
owners
goes
and,
very far
yeah.
in this world. So remember that.
and they say, by the way, X is coming through our doors. Hey,
I can interject a little, and like the old Fitzgerald line, Heaven Hill's really tried to expand the accessibility, if you will, of this. And
Yeah.
the cool thing is they've done a spring and fall release every year, and again they're expanding it and they're changing the. All of a sudden, are we good? Can you hear me now?
no, you're good.
It's almost like there's a correlation between sampling and the mic getting hit.
That and I've noticed you are in the recline position.
Oh yeah,
my friend.
I found that button.
See,
Yeah.
I told
Uh-huh.
fuck it.
It's
the
dangerous.
world. The
At
world
first-
is a better place.
At first, I'm not going to mess any dates up. Now it's like, let's put the feet up. But no, they are trying to make it more accessible. They are putting more barrels down, and as you guys all learned earlier in the episode, it has to be at least 4 years.
Yep.
But they have different ranging releases, and they're trying to go further, making it more, again, accessible. Like their
Right.
main goal was like, how do we get a platinum on the Whiskey and Wine podcast?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they were in Kentucky. They're having board meetings. They're like, how do we do this? And they're like,
Yeah.
we got to lay down more barrels
See?
Yeah.
to make sure everyone can get more.
Accessibility.
But, to kidding aside, is like, if you are looking for rare, hard to find stuff, I mean, it's go to your local store, talk to them and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Don't go to 100 stores
Yeah.
at once. Don't make a round.
That's
Yeah.
the problem, I feel
Yeah.
like, right? Every one of us is guilty of chasing stuff down. I'm trying to get a lot better,
Yep.
right? But build rapport
Yep.
with your local liquor store.
Yeah, your
right?
loyal local places that you
Go
to.
in and buy your freaking gins and your vodkas and talk bourbon and talk other stuff. And
Yeah.
if they see you in, right, and you're buying things and you're not you don't literally, right? The worst thing you probably can do is walk in and say, "Do you have X, Y, Z?" And they say no, and then you leave. And then especially
or you walk in with one of these hats on, and you're like, I have a podcast with a huge pull.
Do you know who I am?
That's when you get the tobacco spit.
Way to bring it back around. That was
funny. Look at these pros.
Yeah, that's where you just hit the button.
Yeah, fucking nailed it, dude. Just nailed it.
All right, so we've got Brian's score, we've got Mike's score, we've got my score, and I think this this has been a successful episode with another guest.
Yeah. Oh, dude. People are going to be talking about this episode, right?
I think so.
Because let's be real, there's no knowledge.
No.
I mean, I can't speak for Alex, but
look, I've got
shit in ball washers, right? Like, there's not a whole lot of knowledge coming out of the big guy's mouth.
Well, no, there's a lot of knowledge. Unfortunately, our skill sets don't exactly lend us to be somehow considered experts in any field except for maybe shitting in weird places.
That's right. So I wouldn't be shocked if once this drops, right, that people will say, hey, feel free to have that Brian guy back on because he kind of actually fucking knows something about bourbon and educates us. So we'll see. We'll see. I want everyone to go out there real quick, dude. 4 days. You guys got 4 days right now.
Go find yourself a Bottled and Bond.
Let them know. Like, if you bought something, like, hit them up on social media. Say, hey, I tried this one. It was great. I didn't like it. Like,
tell us what you're drinking for the Bottled and Bond anniversary.
That's right, man. 127 years. So if you're if you're one of our loyal listeners listening
us on the socials
on Wednesday, you guys got 4 days to celebrate the anniversary of the Bottle and Bond Act. So go out there, grab something.
And if you're listening a little after, I think it's okay to still celebrate the anniversary.
March 3rd is the anniversary.
I mean, really, I'm celebrating Joanna and my anniversary every day with a nice glass of something.
Jesus.
So good.
That's fucking good.
God, I'm good at this.
Well done.
Yeah, that's fucking well done.
Did you work for Hallmark?
Remember, every day is Valentine's Day when you've married your Valentine.
Jesus Christ.
Mike just vomited.
Dude, I want you to just cue up our fucking... hit the outro music. I don't even want... You know what? I'm not... That's it. I'm done. Yep. That's it. Hit the outro. Mic drop. Fucking married the Valentine. Hit that outro. This episode of Whiskey and Wine Podcast sponsored by Portland Party Bus, Portland's original party bus company, where the ride becomes the party. Call us to book your next event, just professional staff and a party all along the way. Visit them at pdxpartybus.com and plan your next wine, beer tasting, birthday party, or just great weekend with them. pdxpartybus.com.